the standout defenseman. That pick six was really what got the momentum going. They were already doing great in the game, but that pick six ignited the whole team.
It was, I'd have to say, it was the cherry on top. When I was doing the research on tonight's game, I was looking at Max Preps, I was looking at the highlights from Mojave, and then just like, the snap, the throw, just the deflection, and then Jackson being the first to react, just picking it up and then just taking it 55 yards all the way to the crib. I mean, that's incredible. That's something you can't even write.
And we are off here in Queen Creek. It's going to be a touchback here, and the Boulder Creek, excuse me about
Jaguars.
that. Boulder Creek Jaguars. Had to find that on my sheet. The Boulder Creek Jaguars are going to send out their offense here. Now, their offense has been running through two different people. Everett Stano and Joey Longo have both been under center. Joey Longo, more of a wide receiver. He caught all 4 of the touchdowns for Boulder Creek in last week's game. What are you expecting from this offense going into it?
Explosiveness. That's what I got to say. I mean, with Joey Longo leading the line, he's been playing out of his skin, especially in that last game against Perry. Got 223 receiving yards, 6 receptions, obviously, as you mentioned, 4 touchdowns. He was the only scorer from that game.
And the only one with 100 yards or more. As a first snap here, it's going to be a run down the middle that gets stuffed up pretty quickly. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2 on the play. But, yeah, going back to it, Joey Longo was the only person on the team who had more than 100 yards receiving. Everyone else was 100 yards and under. So if you're Queen Creek, you got to limit him somehow. You have to find a way.
Of course. I mean, with a player like him in the side, he's very versatile. Like, apart from playing as a wide receiver, he's also the backup quarterback, which is funny because normally when you hear about versatile players in football, you think of a player that plays on either side of the ball, like a Travis Hunter, or a Deion Sanders.
Definitely. Joey Longo can do it all here at the 21, looking deep. He's going to escape the pocket. He's getting some yards, gets his helmet taken off by the hit, and tempers flaring on the second play of the game.
I mean, what did I say about the explosiveness? I mean, that's the start that the Jaguars wanted to do. And obviously, throughout the game, they're going to be looking to pounce. No pun intended.
Everett Stano, after that hit, stared down the lineman that took his helmet off. It just looked like a physical hit, no flag on the play. Refs didn't rule it as, unnecessary roughness. He was still in bounds. Everett decided to stay on his feet and not take the slide there. Going to be enough here for a first down for the Jaguars. Going to start at the 32 now. Excuse me, the 31. Handoff up the middle to Duke Milacek. Goes essentially nowhere. A gain of about 1 on the play. The line just swarmed around Milacek there. Didn't really give him any room to run. I think he did get a yard, but other than that, not much else from there.
I mean, that's what you can see from Queen Creek's defense right there. Obviously, players like Jackson, but then they also have some really hard hitters. Ethan Raber. Oh, sorry. Wrong list. Let's see. They have players like Tustin DeWitt, Lackland Geyer.
Yeah, it's a really explosive team here. We got a delay of game. The referee was looking at the clock here. And, you talked about the 12th man being this fan base. Do you think the fan base got too loud for the quarterback, or was it just a thing of just not looking at the clock there?
Probably a little bit of both, honestly. I mean, the noise of this crowd, obviously, we're like engulfed in it.
Surrounded,
absolutely surrounded. So obviously, them being loud enough to get into inside the head of the quarterback would probably be enough for him to not be able to communicate with his other teammates.
Definitely. Ref did just say that they barely got a timeout off before that delay of game. But still, if you're forced to burn a timeout with 9:46 left in the first quarter, that's how you know you're a good defense, you're a good team, because you're putting the pressure on the quarterback and you're putting the pressure on the whole team. And now they only have 2 timeouts left for the half.
So they got to use it wisely.
Yeah, definitely. And, it'll be interesting to see if you can force plays like that each drive, they're not going to have any left by the second quarter. So, you know, Queen Creek, you've talked about explosiveness. You've talked about everything that they can do. They just got to keep applying the pressure, man. So plays here going to resume at the 32-yard line for Boulder Creek. 2nd and 9. Under center. Another handoff that goes nowhere. That run defense, especially at that line of scrimmage, is there. Looks like that was Derek Warden, the defensive end, who made the majority of the tackle. There was quite a few people around there, but he was the one that got hyped up after the play.
Amazing player. Really, he was definitely a standout player from the previous game as well.
Yeah, one of our seniors here at senior night, putting on a show for all the fans here in Queen Creek.
And talking about seniors, obviously, since it's senior night, I feel like this game is definitely going to be very senior heavy. As a matter of fact, Queen Creek has about 21 players in their 54-man roster that are seniors. That makes up like 38% of the squad right there.
It's going to be a pass about 9 yards. Flag is thrown. Looks like it was a late hit on the quarterback. Depending on what the ref's going to call it, incomplete. But it looked like it was going to be a roughing the passer call. Everett went down pretty late after that play, and the back judge did call it. So,
and that's things that you cannot be doing on the gridiron right there. And
definitely
obviously
not.
That's going to cost Queen Creek a lot of yards right there.
You know, you had such a good breakup because the receiver for Boulder Creek caught the ball, but the tackle broke up the pass, and now they're already set up at the 49, 1 yard away from entering enemy territory here. But you talk about this Boulder Creek team, they scored 30 points. Their offense is not shy to throw the ball, to run the ball, to do whatever they need to get into the end zone. And penalties like that, they just can't happen if you're Queen Creek.
Of course. So, obviously, Jaguars are looking to lick their chops over at these opportunities.
Looks like it might be a false start here from the offense. Oh, it's going the encroachment on the defense. On Marcus Reed, the defensive lineman called for encroachment. So 2 plays back-to-back where Queen Creek has gotten penalties and moved the ball so much that now Boulder Creek is operating from inside enemy territory.
I mean, they're obviously posing to be a threat. They have a lot of offensive weapons, so they're going to be looking to attack in this drive.
Going to be a run outside. He's got the legs for it. Everett Stano. He gets his yards on the ground and in the air. Gets about 15 there. Probably a little more than that. Now I want to bring your attention to this, Reggie. Everett Stano had the second most rushing yards of the team last season.
Really?
Yeah, he was behind the senior wide receiver Karsten Cornell, who's now graduated. But if you're Stano, if you're a quarterback that can throw deep, and can run on the ball, you're a really dangerous quarterback for defenses.
Of course, he can do it all, and he was obviously one of the standout players for Boulder Creek in that loss against Perry.
A dip-out pass to the left here. Ends up finding his receiver, Frankie Stubbs.
And there seems to be a player down.
Player for Boulder Creek down after the play. After the flip out to Frankie Stubbs, that gained about 4.
Obviously, this is not something that we'd like to be seeing on the field, but hopefully he can recover.
Definitely.
He's up.
You know, we talked about it pregame, but Tate Reynolds last game went out with an injury, and it's just, especially on senior night, especially in a high school career, you really just, you hate to see injuries happen like this.
Of course. And obviously Tate Reynolds going into the season was a very promising player to look at. in the Arizona high school football scene. He was going around looking for schools to play at for both baseball and football, because obviously he's a two-sport athlete. Top baseball prospect, plays as a center fielder. Originally, he was committed to ASU in early 2023, but however, he did decommit a year later, and then a month after that, he ended up committing to Clemson, where he's going to be playing football and baseball.
Now that's exciting. You know, you see a lot of multi-sport athletes in high school. Usually when they make the transition to college, they pick one. It's really exciting to see that he's picking both. And we hope for a speedy recovery for Tate, of course. As we resume play here on the 29, ball is snapped. He's looking. He has the arm. Does he have the receiver? He doesn't. Throws it about 3 yards in front of his receiver. That was a house call if he caught it.
It was a very physical matchup right there. Obviously, the defense doing enough to break up that pass.
And that was Joey Longo, the star receiver. He had 223 yards last game, and that was just really impressive. He's one of our seniors here at Boulder Creek. So they're going to take it 3rd and 6 here at the 29. Colt Eichelberry and Duke Milacek are in the backfield. The pitch to Milacek, another pitch. It's going to be a flip out to Everett Stano, the quarterback. He's going to take it. He's going to run and get tackled down at about the 10-yard line. That was a bit of a Philly special there from Boulder Creek.
Of course. One thing that I really love about this sport is like the trick plays. Obviously, you don't know what type of plays that the offensive coordinator has up his sleeves, and when you see something get executed to perfection like that, that's absolutely beautiful.
Now, not to add on to Joey Longo's resume, but he threw that pass. So now, as a backup quarterback, you know, stepping up and making the play to the starting quarterback, Everett Stano.
Of course. And obviously we got to see a little bit of his versatility right now.
Here's the pass deep. It's going to be broken up. He had his receiver, Tate Larson, close to the end zone, but falls incomplete. Tate Larson only had 1 recovery in their last game, but, you know, could have gotten a touchdown there, but was covered really well.
I feel like he definitely could have gotten to that.
Looked like maybe a thing of Butterfingers, because it didn't look like it was too physical in terms of contact, just a slip of the hands there.
Yeah, I mean, his hands were outstretched. The ball was just waiting for his home.
So the Jaguars are going to regroup here on the 11-yard line, 2nd and 10. Everett's in the backfield, scrambling, pockets collapsing. He dishes it out to Longo. Longo's going to try and get to the end zone. He gets stopped short. Looks to be at about the 3 or 2-yard line here. And now I think we're seeing why that connection last week was so great. In a collapsing pocket, you know, Everett's just able to find Joey Longo on that quick connection.
And this is something that we're probably going to be expecting to see from Boulder Creek all season long.
Definitely. 3rd and 3 here on the 4-yard line. Motion here. They send all of their receivers on the left side of the field. A dish out. Try to get a screen for Longo, but gets stopped short.
You see, this is what happens when you have an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. You got Boulder Creek's offense lined up against Queen Creek's defense. It's just magic waiting to happen.
Yeah, Queen Creek's defense only allowed 19 points in their game against Mojave, and you know, we were talking about it pregame. Boulder Creek scored 30 points in their last week game, so this defense has to step up, and they've done so far. Let's see if they can do it. 4th and 3, they're gonna go for it here. Motion in the back. Everett Stano's looking to find someone. Can he? He does. He finds Joey Longo for his 5th touchdown of the season already in his 2nd game.
Obviously we saw what Boulder Creek can do They were moving down the field at an aggressive pace. Obviously, those 2 penalties earlier in the game from Queen Creek really helped them, and the connection for Longo and Sano, absolutely incredible, and we've seen it work its magic right here again.
Yes, there's a reason that Longo had all 4 of the touchdowns, because the extra point is good. He got his first one here today. Already has 5 on the season. You know, most high school athletes, they're happy if they can get to 7 or 8. Longo's already got 5 on the year.
I'm just absolutely lost for words at his stats from like the previous game as well. So
definitely.
Visit our sponsors, including Raising Cane's Chicken, Golden Metal Landscape Management, 3S Restoration, Wait Now, ATAS International Inc., and Spark.
So now it's going to be Queen Creek's turn to try and answer by that like amazing touchdown, 3-yard touchdown to Joey Longo here. And if you're Queen Creek, I think you got to set the pace, right? They burned about 5.5 minutes off the clock, did Boulder Creek. So if you're Queen Creek, you got to try and work at a little bit faster of a pace here.
obviously, Queen Creek wants to respond at a very quick rate, and they have a couple of offensive weapons on their side as well. Jaron Lyles, David Rossum. And then, of course, Sawyer Hales, as we mentioned earlier, came in as a backup for Tate Reynolds.
So touchback for Queen Creek. Yaniv Jasa was the intended kick returner. An offside kick return penalty. It's going to be 5 yards, and we're going to go sideline to our news reporter who has more. And we are back here. Going to redo the kick is Boulder Creek. Kicking is Ben Ungar. Receiving is Yaniv Jasa. It's going to be a short kick. Not even going to get to Jasa.
He chipped that one.
He's still on his feet. He gets all the way to the 43-yard line. That was Caden Kellogg.
I mean, Queen Creek is definitely in a really good position to possibly get down the field at a really good rate.
Definitely went from having that touchback to now kicking a ball that was about roughly at the 30 when it got to Kellogg's hands. And so they've really set up the team here beautifully. And they've set up the backup quarterback, Sawyer Hales, to hopefully make something happen. He's going to send Jaron Lyles in motion. The pitch to the backfield. Gets about a gain of 4. Going to be David Rawson on the carry. Now I want to ask you about this. Sawyer Hales only played 1 game last year. Had to come in last week against Mojave. What are you expecting from him as he tries to lead this offense to beat a really formidable Boulder Creek defense?
Well, I see in Sawyer Hales a man that has the weight of the world on his shoulders. I mean, obviously coming in for the star quarterback who unfortunately left the previous game with an injury, but he was able to make a statement in that game against Mojave, and he clearly earned the trust of the head coach, so that's why he's starting today as well.
Definitely, as Rawson gets about another 7 on the play.
David Rawson, brought down by number 22, Frankie Stubbs.
It's going to create a 3rd and 2 situation here for Queen Creek and the Bulldogs at the 49 of Boulder Creek. There's a lot of creeks here. Got to make sure I keep them straight.
Of course, can't confuse them.
But yeah, like you said, this is a team that was 10-3 that went all the way to the 6A semifinals. You got to try and get your wins how you can and get that team back to where they were. 4:56 left in the first quarter here. Here's the snap. The first throw of the game. He's going to find his receiver, get a couple yards after the carry. Takes about 5 Jaguars to bring down the star receiver, Jaron Yaniv Jasa, excuse me. A great pickup there. And that's what you really want to see from your receivers, right? After the catch, able to get some yards and also take a couple guys down with you.
I mean, yeah, the more the merrier.
.427 in the first quarter. The Bulldogs trailing 7-0. Here's the snap. It's given to his running back. He's going to get about 2 yards. Is Jaden Gearing, the junior for Queen Creek.
Jaden Gearing. Put down by number 15, Paulo Longo.
Brought down by the star receiver's brother, Paulo Longo. Now, these Longo brothers are great on both sides of the ball. You have Joey Longo obviously working as quarterback and as wide receiver, and then you have Paulo Longo working alongside the defense as well. So it should be an exciting day for the Longo brothers.
You could probably expect a brotherly connection out there.
Definitely. Here's a snap from the 40. He's looking about 10 yards out. He finds his receiver. He finds Caden Kellogg again. One of our seniors here tonight, Caden Kellogg, getting recognized pregame and gets the catch there for about 11. Now, we talked about Queen Creek being explosive and getting down the field quick. Only 3:30 left on the clock now, but they've been making great time. They're already at the 38-yard line of their opponent. So,
however, they do have to make up huge yardage as this is 3rd and 9.
he finds someone while escaping the pocket. Oh, physical pass broken up.
That is Frankie Stubbs right there, who has been impressive this season as well.
Definitely.
And he was obviously another one of those standout players on defense for Boulder Creek. Last Friday when they were playing Perry, he led the defense in tackles made. 6 solo, 6 assisted, and get this. The national average for tackles is 3.4.
That's impressive.
He got 12 of those. Blew that stat out of the water.
That's impressive. So a great pass breakup there by Frankie Stubbs. A bit of an underthrown ball there from Sawyer Hales as we get a stop in the play.
Timeout, Bulldogs.
A timeout from the Bulldogs. Now I want to talk about that last pass because it was a bit underthrown, and if the receiver wasn't able to get his hands quite on it, that could have been an interception there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Frankie Stubbs is definitely one of those guys that you got to watch out for on Boulder Creek's defense. It's going to be a thorn in the side for Queen Creek's offense all night, so that's something to expect.
And we're going to take a break here. 3:23 left as the Bulldogs call timeout. We are back here in Queen Creek looking for the Bulldogs to answer after Boulder Creek had a 4-yard touchdown to Joey Longo. Here's a snap for Hales. Pocket collapses. He's going to fire it on the run. He's going to find his receiver at the 15-yard line. Helmet comes off, but it doesn't matter. The tight end, Bear Fisher, makes the reception.
I mean, that's what you can expect from a player like Sawyer Hales. Once again, rising up to the occasion, doing everything that he needs to do, and obviously, as you know, the Bulldogs, they're in position to score.
Got into the red zone, had the pass breakup on the previous play, said, I'm going to right some wrongs here. Finds his tight end, Bear Fisher, who was really good last game too. Finds him at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 here, 2:50 left in the first quarter for the Bulldogs. Here's the snap. On the run again, he finds Jaron Lyles, but the ball gets jarred out of his hands on the hit. We've seen a lot of these running passes here from Sawyer Hales. How do you like how he's operating the pocket?
I mean, he's quick, he's effective, he knows how to get to his target, and he knows how to evade like the defense as well. That's something that I like in a QB, someone that knows how to scramble.
That's what I think has led to a couple of the miscues here for the Bulldogs, has been that pressure on the defensive line from Boulder Creek, really able to get in the face of Sawyer Hales. But regardless, it's 2nd and 10 on the 14, and they're going to try and answer here. Here's a snap. He dumps it off, and a dropped pass. And that's what you just hate to see here. A dropped pass from his receiver to Asher Howard, the intended receiver on the play. And those little flips like that feel like they're really easy when you're looking up here, but on the field sometimes, you're not expecting them. Maybe you're expecting it to come in a little hotter than it does.
And then sometimes it's all about that reaction too. Like, can you get your hands up in time? And if not, like, things like that happen.
But regardless, 3 and 10 here for the Bulldogs at the 14. Two incomplete passes. Hales is looking. Interception! Tried to find his receiver. Could not do it. That's going to be Frankie Stubbs with the interception. The safety for Boulder Creek stole it from the receivers on Queen Creek.
Of course, once again, I told you, Frankie Stubbs is going to be a menace. He's going to be that fly in the ear that you're trying to swat out every single time. Every time Queen Creek has a play on the offense, he's going to be there. So that's something that the Bulldogs are going to have to try to maneuver around tonight.
And he was there for the interception. And now the Jaguars are going to take over at the 10. 1st and 10, robbed Queen Creek of getting a field goal or a touchdown or any points on the board for that matter. We've talked about, how Queen Creek is going to combat this defense of the Jaguars, and that's not what you like to see. But, there's still a lot of game.
Of course. So much time on the clock. Obviously, not that much time in the first quarter, but you still have 3 other quarters to go. So
it should be an exciting time as we have a timeout on the field. So we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
Overwhelmed by crushing medical bills that keep you up at night? Imagine the heartbreak of delaying care for your family because of sky-high deductibles, copays, and surprise out-of-pocket costs. It's a nightmare no one should face. At Fountain Hills ER and Medical Center, we've partnered with Instinctive Health Pass to deliver Health Pass, your emotional lifeline for true peace of mind. Visit instinctivehealthpass.com today. Sign up to slash costs on unlimited future visits and erase current outstanding bills from using our facilities, saving you thousands in worry-free relief.
We are back here in Queen Creek, where the Queen Creek Bulldogs did not get a touchdown or any points on the board after that interception from Frankie Stubbs on defense.
of course, missed opportunity to make the score 6-7.
I'm Andrew Nam. I'm your play-by-play here with Reggie White today on color. And it's been a really exciting first quarter here, and we still got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Right.
Motion in the backfield. The pitch gets blown up in the backfield, brought down to about the 2, and it looked like a little bit of taunting there.
There is a flag on the play.
There is a flag for taunting. That was Will Benzing, the junior out of Queen Creek, who got caught with taunting. It was a great play. It really was, but got to keep your emotions in check there.
I mean, quick to get past the offense and just get to the player that has the ball, bring him down, but unfortunately he had to ruin it with the excessive showboating.
Crowd here in Queen Creek not happy with the call. Now, we've seen overall in all of football, not even on the professional level, a much more tighter constriction on taunting and personal fouls of unsportsmanlike conduct.
Of course. So
I don't know if you were watching the Cowboys-Eagles game,
I definitely was.
but, you know, Jalen Carter there. We've had a lot of those in college football and even here on the high school level.
Of course.
So that's going to give the Jaguars an extra 10 yards, starting now on the 22, 1st and 10. A deep pass, double covered, overthrown. And even more showboating from Queen Creek's defense. Colton Cox, the sophomore, letting you know that you can't get a pass through him. Intended receiver Jalen Moore for the Jaguars.
Cox over there giving the pass a thumbs down.
Trying to see how far these referees will take these taunting calls. As it's 2nd and 10 on the 22 for the Jaguars. Here's the snap, gives it right down the middle. Swallowed up by the defensive line.
Once again, Queen Creek at it for defense. I mean, you're gonna expect to see that all night. I mean, especially last Friday with their defense, they recorded 65 total tackles in their win against Mojave, as well as a sack and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, it's been an exciting time here for this defense. So we will see if this defense can stop them on this 3rd and 10 after the penalty. Here's the snap. Looking around, finds his receiver. He's running down the right sideline. Tackled out of bounds at about the 35 is number 9. Have to find him on my stat sheet. Quentin Shannon, the wide receiver, with the catch.
I mean, Boulder Creek is slowly trying to find their way outside their own half and obviously get back into the Bulldogs' territory. And obviously, if you're going to keep having plays like that, you're sure to find it soon.
Definitely. Another run up the middle to Duke Malachek, and that's a fumble. He's going the other way. That's a touchdown.
And number 24.
Will Benzing got called with the taunting call earlier in the drive, gets the fumble recovery, and runs it all the way in for a Bulldogs answer touchdown.
And that's how you bark back. Obviously, a lot of confusion from the initial snap. However, Benning finds the ball, is able to pick it up, take it back to the end zone, and the Bulldogs find themselves back into this game.
And now that's 2 straight games where the Bulldogs have had defensive touchdowns. Obviously, the pick 6 from R.J. Jackson last week, and then this week.
Will Benning.
Lining up for the extra point here. Some motion.
An opportunity to even up this game.
1 second on the play clock. Double zeros, and the referee is going to throw the flag. Delay of game on the extra point, it looks like.
Spared him a little bit of embarrassment as he kind of scuffed that kick wide.
So, you know, maybe that was a practice kick. They're going to go for it again here.
Of course.
So that pushes him back 5 yards, now on the 7 for this extra point attempt instead of the 2. Placeholder and kicker going to be setting up at about the 15. So about a 25-yard kick instead of the normal 20-yard kick for an extra point. Here's the snap, the hold, up and through. So, hey, maybe they had the delay of game on purpose. So now scores even with 1:06 left in the first quarter. Tied 7-7 as the Jaguars will get the ball back after this. We are back here underway in Queen Creek. The kick falls down over to Boulder Creek. He's running. Going to get to about the 19 is Malachek. And we are going to send it down to our sideline reporter who has more on what happened.
Number 6, Owen Sow, tackled by number 29, Jim.
Thank you for that, and we are back underway. 1 minute left exactly in this first quarter. My name is Andrew Nerum, here alongside Reggie White, and it has been a back-and-forth game through the first 11 minutes already.
Of course. I mean, obviously we still have 3 more quarters to go, so obviously score is 7-7 right now. It's not going to be like that for long.
You know, I just keep thinking, you know, if they didn't have that delay of game on the kick, it probably would have been about a score of about 6-7. But, you know, regardless, it's 7-7 here as Boulder Creek is starting on the 19-yard line. Here's the pitch outside. Tried to find a hole, doesn't get there. A tough hit from R.J. Jackson, the middle linebacker. Brings down Jalen Moore, the running back. R.J. Jackson has always been a stud here on this defense. As the clock continues to roll, Boulder Creek going to try and get another playoff here before the end of the clock. They're going to have to. About an 11-second difference between play clock and game clock.
Yeah. I mean, basketball season's in the winter, so we got to pump our brakes on that.
Excuse myself for getting a little too carried away there. They're on the 23 now, 2nd and 6. Play clock reset. They're going to just drain time here. They have now the time to just sit here. It looks like they're actually going to run a play. The deep out to Joey Longo gets pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Really didn't think they were going to run a play there, but they did get it out of bounds. Clock does stop with 4.3 seconds left. Charles Rodriguez, one of our 21 seniors for Queen Creek, gets the stop there. It was really nice seeing them pregame, coming out with their family members and hearing the cheers from the crowd as they, you know, take in their last season here as a Queen Creek Bulldog. As we have hit the end of the quarter, the score is tied. The Bulldogs 7 and the Jaguars 7. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back after these messages.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Back here, second quarter action in Queen Creek. The Bulldogs on defense now, flip sides. The Jaguars working from their own 31.
Oh.
That's a pass, or that's a pitch outside. He's got the legs to run.
Hey.
He keeps going, and tackled down in the enemy territory is Frankie Stubbs.
Man,
What a night for this young man, the senior, 5'10", the safety on defense, the running back / wide receiver on offense. Been doing it all for Boulder Creek here.
I mean, talk about variety again. Obviously, there are a lot of players on this field right now that can do a lot on both sides of the ball, or even on the same side of the ball. For example, Joey Longo. And
Definitely.
then Frankie Stubbs, man.
Able to dominate both sides of the ball. Does show those flashes of Travis Hunter and other two-way players that are very popular now. Here's the snap, 1st and 10 at their 30. That's going to be a pass that's going to find his receiver, Joey Longo. Flag on the play. Looked like it was another roughing the passer, kind of a late hit there in the pocket.
And once again, these penalties coming back to bite Queen Creek. And obviously, this is another penalty that they don't want to give up, but they unfortunately have. And Boulder Creek, once again, has another opportunity to restore their lead.
It's going to be a block to the face on number 55 of the defense, Isaiah Forney. Illegal hands to the face. He's going to accept the penalty and move the ball to the 10-yard line. And just like that, we blinked, they were at the 30 of their own side of the field. Now they're at the 10-yard line in enemy territory. 1st and goal here for the Jaguars. Sends Longo in motion. Longo goes back to the side of the field he was on. Student section getting loud, trying to stop any momentum that's happening. And that is exactly what happened. Stopped in the backfield is number 9. Quentin Shannon gets stopped in the backfield.
I mean, Jaguars losing a lot of yards there, but that's exactly the type of break that Queen Creek really needed.
Loss of 6 on the play brings up 2nd and 16. Still 2nd and goal. Just 16 yards to do it instead of 10 this time. Malachek in the backfield. Working under center is Stano. Sent a man in motion, has some confusion. And that's going to be, looks to be another timeout for Boulder Creek. So they have 1 left for the remaining 11 minutes of this second quarter. They burned the first one about 2 minutes into the first. They burned their second one about 1 minute into the second. It's been rough here on the offensive cues for Boulder Creek.
Of course. I mean, the Jaguars have it all to do, and the use of all these timeouts aren't really going to help them. So obviously they have 1 more left. They're going to have to use it wisely. So we're going to see what they can do.
Right, you get to start to wonder, you know, if they get the ball 2 minutes left in the quarter, trying to get a score late before halftime, they won't have the timeouts that they would like. Even if they save their 1 timeout, they won't have the timeouts they'll like to get it all the way down the field. So Queen Creek's defense is going to come back out on a 2nd and goal with 16 yards to go to the end zone. Everett Stano threw for 260 yards in their last game at Perry. Excuse me, not at Perry, against Perry. And trying to get those stats back up again here at the 16 in Queen Creek. Here's the snap. He's going to be looking right. Does he have the receiver? He does. That's Joey Longo again. He has 2 touchdowns on the night. He has 6 touchdowns in 2 games of the season.
I mean, this is a name that we're going to be saying all night. Joey Longo. I mean, incredible space. He's able to get himself open, and obviously, Stano is just able to just get him, see him, throw the pass, and Longo's just over there just to bring it down. And, of course, the Jaguars once again find themselves in the lead.
Extra point is good. And that was one of those passes that was over the shoulder. And with those over-the-shoulder passes, you have to be pinpoint accurate. Because if you're not, it's an interception or dropped pass. And so it was a great catch by Longo, but an even better throw there by Stano.
Of course, that just shows the difficulty of that throw in that pass.
We are going to take a quick break here as the Queen Creek Bulldogs are going to look to put themselves in scoring position to answer. We are back here at Queen Creek after Joey Longo got his second touchdown of the night and got Boulder Creek their second touchdown of the night. 14-7 is the score, with the Bulldogs trailing here at senior night in the Valley. The kickoff spotted at about the 4-yard line.
Oh!
A fumble recovered by Queen Creek, and a great save there by number 22 of Queen Creek. A scary situation there.
Very nervy.
And we are going to send it sideline to our sideline reporter. Colton Cox there recovered the fumble from Bear Fisher, it looked like, had that fumble.
I mean, it's not the exact type of start that Queen Creek wanted to do, especially after they've fallen behind. I mean, but however, they do have a second chance at trying to make amends.
Definitely. Just want to avoid having any more Butterfingers throughout the game. Would have been at the 30. The fumble pushes them back to about the 26. A pass gets tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls short of the intended receiver. Great work by the lineman of Boulder Creek, tipping the pass and getting up to stop the completion. Looked like it was CJ Loveland for Boulder Creek that got the tip on the pass. And we are back with trying to see what Hales can do. It's going to be the pass off to Jaron Lyles. He's going to get yardage. Going to work up to about the 34, and another flag on the play. Flag on the play. Looked like that was Ian Cox who got the stop, or was at least the leading man for the tackle there.
It seems like the Bulldogs are going to have to go back a little.
Unfortunate here. We're going to see what the call is. I didn't quite get a good look of it up here, so we'll have to see.
We have fouls on both teams. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 18 on the offense. We have dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 28 on the defense. Both penalties offset. Third down.
Once again, those unsportsmanlike conduct calls coming into play. Not something that Queen Creek had in mind going into this game.
Got lucky that it was offsetting. It was Caden Kellogg for Queen Creek that had unsportsmanlike conduct, and Noah Garay for, or excuse me, not Noah Garay. It was Hunter Dillon for Boulder Creek. So the ball stays where it was after the run by Jaron Lyles. And offsetting penalties, 10:31 left in the second quarter. 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Here's the snap, the handoff, pushing up, gets past the first down marker, plus some, is David Rawson. Has had a bit of a slow night, was pretty powerful in their win last week, but has had a bit of a slow night here tonight. So they're going to line up here at the 42-yard line. He's going to drop back to pass. He's got the arm way overthrown. Intended receiver on the play, Bear Fisher, the tight end, was throwing about 10 yards over his head. Put a little too much gas on that one. But it's first down. You can make those plays. You have the downs to give. Just got to make sure you can get them up on those other downs.
Of course, of course.
Illegal block, hands to the face on the defense, number 66.
And Queen Creek seems to have found a little bit of luck, as there has been a penalty called on Boulder Creek.
It was on number 66. My stat sheet doesn't have a 66, so it's rather unfortunate. If it did, I would tell you who.
Albert Ennis.
Albert Ennis, there you go. So that pushes Queen Creek into enemy territory, working from the 49. Here's the handoff again to Rawson. Rawson, he finds a seam, working the right sideline. He has a blocker and gets pushed out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Rawson with an explosive 20-yard rush.
And that's the type of play that the Queen Creek wanted. The Bulldogs obviously getting a little bit of yardage. They find themselves deep into Boulder Creek's area, and they could possibly find themselves evening the score once again.
Definitely. 9:37 left in the second quarter. Let's see if Sawyer Hales can work some magic like he did in the first quarter. The handoff again to Rawson. He goes left this time. He does not escape the tackler. A bit of a flex there from the defenseman George Beltran. Gains about yard, maybe 2 on the play. Gains 2 yards. Pushes Queen Creek up to the 27. You know, it worked just then. He got the 20-yard run. Why not go back to him?
Of course. And he has all the right in the world to flex those muscles of his. I mean, coming off a great game in last Friday against Mojave, 10 carries, 50 yards, averaging 5 yards every carry.
They send it back to him. He found another hole. He broke free. He is in the end zone.
That is Jaron Lyles.
Jaron Lyles.
Wow.
Got the jet sweep handoff, found the hole in the pocket, and then broke a defender to get this score up to 13-14.
Incredible. I mean, he was able to find that gap. He was able to go through it, evade a couple of tackles, and once again, the Bulldogs say they're not out of this.
Not at all. They've said that, but despite our mistake, we can still compete with the best of the best. Despite not having our starting quarterback, we can still compete with the best of the best. Extra point is good for the Bulldogs. Fireworks go off. Minions and Gru in the student section. It's electric tonight here in Queen Creek as they celebrate senior night and as we head to a quick break. All right, we are back here in Queen Creek. My name is Andrew Neer. I'm here for Varsity Sports Show. I'm your play-by-play commentator alongside Reggie White. And Reggie, we got an exciting interview coming up at halftime with the JROTC major of Queen Creek. You excited for that interview?
I am absolutely excited. I will be talking to Major Michael Volkert. He's going to be talking about JROTC, how exciting of a program it is, and can't wait for it.
It should be a really good interview. I'm excited to listen along. I won't be part of that, so I'll be able to just sit back and enjoy my water. Illegal kick here. Ball placed at the 35, of course. So if you're Boulder Creek, your defense has given up those 2 touchdowns and has been struggling, but your offense has been equally successful, right? You had the takeaway. You had the touchdown on the offense to, you just had the 2 touchdowns to Joey Longo. So your offense has been equally as explosive. It's been a back-and-forth battle here in the second quarter.
I mean, these are the type of games that we live for. Am I right, Andrew?
Friday night lights, baby.
Yep.
A drop pass almost intercepted. Bit of pushing and shoving after the play. You talked about physical. Now, I know you meant on the play physical, but even out of the play, it's getting a little physical.
Very physical. And hopefully some more sparks opposed to the ones that we see up in the sky can get out on the field.
That would be exciting. Push the incomplete pass. Makes it 2nd and 10 here for the Jaguars, operating at the 35 still after that kick that went out of bounds. Everett Stano still operating under the center. He's going to fire and find his man for a gain of about 4. Goes to Longo again, and Longo has just been unstoppable tonight. Has been catching the ball, has been running the ball, has been throwing the ball. He's been, if the ball is anywhere near him, he probably has it. Eight 11 here in the second quarter. 1 timeout for the Jaguars. Last time they took a timeout, they were able to find Joey Longo in the end zone for the connection. Here's the pass. That's going to be caught at the first down, and he keeps running. He goes into enemy territory, finally gets brought down at the 38-yard line, is number 20 for Boulder Creek. That is Sal Montez, the backup running back. The junior, 5'9", 200-pound running back. Gets the 10-yard catch and gets about an extra 10 to 15 after the catch. Pushes this team into enemy territory with 7:30 left in the game. Excuse me, not in the game, in the second quarter. Here's the snap, the quick dump out. He's going to push through defenders. He's going to finally get tackled down. Is Jalen Moore. Pushed his way through a couple defenders to fight for those yards. Ends up getting about 5. Excuse me, my bad about that. That was Matthew Nicolosi who had the catch there. Apologies about that. Regardless, 2nd and 5 here for the Jaguars. 6:48 left in the second quarter. Here's the snap, a high snap for Everett. He's going to flee the pocket, find his man on the right sideline. He does. Joey Longo makes the reception, about a 10-yard gain on the play.
Pass complete to 18 Longo.
And the Longo-Stano connection has been prevalent through these first 2 quarters. And you said this, Reggie, it's going to be prevalent all game, and it's going to be prevalent all season.
Of course. I mean, great connection once again. I mean, both of them being very evasive. I mean, Longo finding enough space between him and a defender, and he's able to be open for the catch and able to toe tap it before he falls out of bounds.
Definitely. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 23 here for the Jaguars. Here's the pitch back. Doesn't find a seam in the pocket. Gets swallowed up about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Is number 9, Quentin Shannon.
I feel like he could have definitely gotten a couple more yards, but I did see him stumble a little bit, lost a little bit of footing, so I think that kind of proved to be a little bit ineffective for the Jaguars, not what they had in mind.
Definitely. Loss of 2 on the play. Sets them back to the 25 for Stano and company. Here's the snap. Already Stano eyeing Longo. Does he have the connection again? Double coverage. It's going to be what looked to be a pass interference.
I did see the pair get a little bit handsy, very, very uncomfortable for Longo to be in that position.
If it is a pass interference, looks like it's going to go on Isaac Aldrich, the safety junior.
Pass interference, defense, number 13. 50-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal.
Number 13 is going to be Tustin Dewitt. Dewitt and Aldrich were both covering Longo. I had a 50-50 shot, picked the wrong person. Penalty results in a first down for the Jaguars. See some lightning here in the southwest area. Going to be interesting to see. We shouldn't have to go to a game delay. Skies look pretty clear right above us.
Yep.
Just saw some lightning in the distance.
It is a beautiful night, to be fair.
It's one of the cooler nights here in Arizona. As here is the run up the middle.
I definitely could say temperature's been dropping a lot, and obviously it's kind of getting around that time where I could start throwing on some hoodies and whatnot. Still wear my shorts though.
Yeah. Weather service says it's 87 here in Queen Creek, which is relatively pretty cool here for Arizona at night.
Of course. And there seems to be another flag on the play. See what that's all about.
Looked like it was false start, I believe. Or encroachment. Regardless, it's on the Bulldogs. It's going to move the Jaguars even closer. First and goal here at the 3-yard line. Looking to take the lead with 5:18 left in the second quarter. The QB push. Does it have enough distance? It doesn't. It gets stopped short. Eagles played last night against the Cowboys. Show some tush push here in Queen Creek, Arizona.
A little bit of brotherly shove, if you will.
With varying success here. Only gets 1 yard. Pushes them up to the 2. So it's second and goal at the 2-yard line. .440 left in the second quarter. It's going to be let's see what the call is. Timeout, Boulder Creek. Ref just said last and final timeout. 4:28 left in the first half. The Bulldogs still have one of their timeouts. Could be using that on their next offensive drive. And that'll be really helpful coming down the stretch, especially if the Jaguars score here. So they're going to hydrate, and we're going to hydrate, and we should be right back after a short little break.
Overwhelmed by crushing medical bills that keep you up at night? Imagine the heartbreak of delaying care for your family because of sky-high deductibles, copays, and surprise out-of-pocket costs. It's a nightmare no one should face. At Fountain Hills ER and Medical Center, we've partnered with Instinctive Health Pass to deliver Health Pass, your emotional lifeline for true peace of mind. Visit instinctivehealthpass.com today. Sign up to slash costs on unlimited future visits and erase current outstanding bills.
We are back here in Queen Creek. The Jaguars looking to score at the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal. Some confusion. They get everything settled now. One receiver left. Motion in the backfield. Does he have his man? Dropped pass. Was dropped a little too low. Sent out to Tate Larson. First drive of the game. Real quick, Reggie. First drive of the game. They threw to Tate Larson in the end zone. Drop pass. Now throw to Tate Larson in the end zone. Another dropped pass. What do you make of that?
I mean, still the beginning of the season, you know. Still trying to get those jitters out of the way, and you know, obviously it's gonna come to eventually, you know. But you know, it's still early on to the season. Mistakes are allowed to happen, but especially not at crucial times like this.
Definitely. 3rd and goal at the 2-yard line. Here's the snap. Stano gets tipped at the line of scrimmage again. Queen Creek showing their defensive presence up front and gets the tip on the ball. Falls short of Tate Larson again. That time wasn't a drop on Larson's part, just fell about a yard or two short.
A lot of coverage in that last play.
So it's 4th and 2. They're going to decide to go for it here. Going to look to maybe do a tush push. They're going to go Wildcat formation. Refs blow the play dead. Timeout for Queen Creek. Would have been really exciting to see what they would have pulled off there. It'll be even more exciting to see, do they try to run that out of this timeout again?
Or do they kick for it? Just settle for the 3 points.
In a game like this, tied 14-14, I feel like points are points because we've had turnovers on both sides of the ball here.
Of course.
So I feel like in a game like that, right, we had Queen Creek get down to the 5-yard line and then throw that interception. So I feel like, you know, maybe take the points going into half.
Anything goes, really. I mean, we've seen how dangerous they could be from, like, close range. But as well, we've seen, like, those mistakes, as you mentioned earlier.
So it'll be interesting to see what the coaches are talking about with their teams.
Queen Creek Bulldog fans, our game day sponsor tonight is Martin Dental.
I was looking at that first formation of the Jaguars, and I was a little confused by it, and then they moved out. Looked like they were trying to do a tush push and then, you know, send a lot of people in motion. So here we go. 4th and 2. Boulder Creek still hasn't sent out their players yet. Still undecided to see what they're going to do. The Queen Creek defense out and ready. Looks like it's going to be Everett's still going to be coming out with his offensive line, wide receivers, and running back. They're going to try and get the touchdown here. I like the gusto. Stano alone in the backfield. Here's the snap. He goes up the middle himself. Does he have enough room? No, he does not. He stops short. The Queen Creek faithful here in the stands, electric after the stop on 4th and goal. Quarterback kept it himself.
That's what we expect from the 12th man. Obviously, the student section, the parents in the crowd, they're letting themselves be known, and obviously, they're really helping the team out there tonight.
Got the cowbells out in full force today for the Bulldogs. You know, I've always wondered why Bulldogs use cowbells. You have Mississippi State Bulldogs. They have cowbells in their student section. We have Queen Creek Bulldogs. They're using cowbells in their section. But, hey, it makes a lot of noise. It works. It gets teams riled up, especially if you're visiting and you know, maybe you have a new quarterback under center or something like that. They might not be able to hear all the motions or all the snap counts. So it worked in their favor. Now operating at the 1-yard line is Queen Creek. Drop backs to pass in the end zone. He's going to air it out. Wide open. Wide open. He's got the distance. No one near him. Jaron Lyles, 99-yard touchdown. for Queen Creek.
Amazing play there from Jaron Lyles. He's able to get himself separated from his defender, absolutely out in the open field, gets the ball down, and just yards and yards of grass in front of him. And, of course, just like that, Bulldogs get themselves in the lead.
An electric play from Queen Creek. A beautiful pass from Hales, finds his man, Jaron Lyles. And now you wonder, if you're Boulder Creek, should you have gone for that field goal? Because now, barring this extra point missing, it's going to be 21-14 instead of 21-17. But an electric play nonetheless from Jaron Lyles. A 99-yard touchdown. The kick is up and good. And it extends this game to 21-14 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Student section going crazy. Parents and friends in attendance going crazy.
They absolutely love that one.
They popped at the moment the ball was caught because they knew, like we did, I think.
Of course.
They knew that once Lyles caught it, no one was in front of him. There was no one there to contest, and he was able to just clear house. A great throw by Hales, but an even better run there by Lyles, making sure he broke off of his defender. Looked like they were running a bit of man coverage, and he only had one man to beat, and he beat him pretty well.
Of course. We're gonna see if Queen Creek can manage to keep this lead going into the break.
Yeah, looking. Hopefully they should. 4 minutes left on the clock. You gotta wonder. It's a little too much time. You know, Boulder Creek has taken their time with their offensive drives. I'd love to see what they can do in like a 2-minute offense. But you know, if you're Queen Creek here, bear down on defense and try and get a stop. Kicking is Israel Carmona. Receiving is a multitude of players. Looks like it's going to be a touchback here. Brought out to the 20-yard line. An explosive play. Got to rile up your defense after a play like that. But you also have to remember, that was only a one-play drive. The defense was out for the whole march of Boulder Creek, and now they're back out there again. You think fatigue in this Arizona heat, in this Arizona weather, do you think fatigue might start to set in before this halftime break?
I definitely feel like it's going to play a factor. I mean, obviously we've felt the brunt of it before. I mean, you stayed out here in Arizona over the summer, right?
I didn't stay out here in the summer, but man, you know, moving apartments, you know, coming back in August and having to move apartments in this heat, it's no joke. And that's just carrying boxes. That's not running on a field or doing anything like that.
I mean, having to work over the summer and everything is just like, you know, as soon as you step out, it's just like the sun is just beaming down on you. And it's even worse because I have a car with leather seats, so every time I step inside, it's been out in the sun. Even if I have the visors on the windows, it's just like, it's just burning my thighs.
I feel you.
when I'm wearing shorts.
I also have leather seats. Man, it's not helpful at all. Like, the moment you get in that car, AC all the way down. I don't have ventilated seats. I know a lot of newer cars do, but man, if I did, I'd be using them as much as I could. Here's the run on the right side. Gets a surprising amount of yards. Looked like it was going to be blown up in the backfield. Ends up getting a first down. Does Joey Longo. And you got to wonder, are Stano and Longo able enough to counteract the entirety of Queen Creek's offense?
Definitely. I mean, if Queen Creek doesn't sort this out, they're going to prove to be a problem even longer into the night.
3:13 left in the second quarter. Queen Creek does lead 21-14. Here's the snap on the 34. Going to be another run up the middle. Doesn't get much distance there, does Joey Longo.
Ball carrier 18, Longo.
still able to push it up about
Tackled by number
4
42,
yards.
Jameson Whalen.
3 yards. Official ruling on the play.
Colton Cox.
Colton Cox with the stop. Now, I don't know if you saw, Reggie, but I saw after that 99-yard touchdown, Lyles came back over to the sideline, and everyone was hyping him up like he's A-list celebrity, paparazzi all around him, essentially. Everyone really ecstatic to see that play happen.
I mean, it's got to be a huge serotonin boost. Obviously, going back to that sideline, seeing all your teammates just surround you like that, mob you like that, after like a huge play like this, obviously it's gonna spark a fire in him once again.
Definitely.
And just like hopefully go for more touchdowns as the game goes on.
Sal Montez with the carry there. Gets enough for a first down for the Jaguars. First and 10 on the 49. On their own 49. 2:14 left in the quarter. They don't have to run a play. Play clock is at about 3 seconds over the 2-minute warning. We'll see if they do. They are going to run one at 2 minutes, 1 second, a run up the middle. They've been doing nothing but runs here, but it's been working. They've been getting down the field. I forget that in high school, 2-minute warning does not happen for the first half. I think it only happens at the end of the second half, at the end of the game there. So we're going to get a playoff regardless.
Of course.
Because there is no 2-minute warning. Pushes the ball up about 2 yards, 2nd and 8 on the other 49 now, this time in enemy territory.
And mind you, neither of these teams have any timeouts left.
No, so clock is still going to be running. Here's the snap, dealing out of the pocket, almost intercepted, misread Larson's route, and almost falls into the hands of Henry Levitt for Queen Creek. Looks like it was just a misread on the route there. Looks like Larson was cutting back and you know, Stano wasn't ready for that.
Of course. I mean, sometimes miscommunications happen, and it could prove to be costly. Luckily, Stano was spared his blushes right there.
So a broken up pass is going to bring it 3rd and 8 here for the Jaguars. Queen Creek faithful loud and proud. Sacked in the backfield is Stano. And that is what the defense needed. 1 minute left in the second quarter. Drops them all the way back to their own 45-yard line. A loss of 6 on the play. 4th and 14 here. Clint Jensen had the sack, it looked like. Dropped him back for the loss. Clint Jensen, another one of our seniors here that got honored. One of the 21 on the 54-man roster for Queen Creek. You know, normally we see these senior nights happening at
the end of
the season.
Yes.
The last home games of the seasons are usually are usually the senior nights. In almost any sport, right? Baseball, football, basketball. The last home game is usually the senior night, but they opted for the first game of the season, which I think is also a nice touch, right? Because you get to follow the seniors throughout the year instead of maybe learning that they're seniors at the end of the year. Here's the punt, almost got blocked. It's going to be a short punt. Going to be dropping down at about the 35-yard line.
About 18 seconds left in this quarter before we go to halftime.
So I got to ask, after the 99-yard reception, you think they try something here with 18 seconds left?
Possibly. Anything could happen within these 18 seconds. I feel like they could definitely go for a long pass.
They definitely could, and we will see if they will, or we'll see if they just decide to kneel it out. They're talking it over right now in the huddle with the coaches. No timeouts left, so if the ball's in bounds after this first play, they're going to have to hustle back up to the line of scrimmage and get the ball snapped. All right, so they're going to line up here at the 47-yard line. Going to have about 53 yards if they want to get to the end zone. Hales, he gets a pass. Over center, gets dropped. A big hit there. And that's going to be number 11, the intended receiver, Andrew Bohannon. Slow to get up. Does get up on his own volition, though, which is great to see. Does have a ref timeout injury on the play. Was an injury timeout. Looks like he was able to get up on his own volition. Was Andrew Bohannon. It was a bit of a rough hit there.
It was definitely a nasty hit, even when the ball was out of his hands.
Yeah, because he got hit when the ball was in his hands and then essentially got thrown to the ground.
Picked up and, like, body slammed.
Pretty much. Regardless, the Bulldogs are going to start back at the 47. 53 yards if they want a touchdown. Only 10 if they want a first down. Here's the snap. He's going to dump it deep to – not dump it deep. He's going to dump it shallow to David Rawson. A gain of about 10 on the play.
6 seconds left on the game clock.
Clock's not roll. Clock does now finally roll. He kneels it first, and that's going to keep the clock rolling. Instead of spiking it, Sawyer Hales got a little confused, kneeled the ball instead of spiking it, and we are going to halftime. Any final thoughts here, Reggie?
I mean, all I can say is that we are in for an exciting second half. I mean, both teams were playing end-to-end. Obviously, we saw some touchdowns from we saw some touchdowns from Frankie Stubbs, Joey Longo, obviously becoming a thorn in the side for Queen Creek. And then on the other side, we saw what Jaron Lyles could do with that 99-yard receiving touchdown. And that's all I can say. It's just we pretty much can't wait.
All right. Well, we are going to take a break here for halftime. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back for the third quarter here at Varsity Sports Show after these quick messages and a halftime break.
Good afternoon, this is Varsity Sports Show. My name is Rodolfo Gomez, reporting from Sacramento, California about sports gambling, how it's affecting fans, players, and leagues across the country. Sports gambling is bigger than ever, but it's putting new pressure on athletes. Across leagues, players are facing waves of criticism, even threats, when they don't meet the numbers that fans bet on. The stakes aren't public. Some players are now being suspended as leagues investigate potential gambling violations, raising questions about fairness and integrity. Many athletes say that added scrutiny makes it harder to perform at their best, with every play carrying more than just the outcome of the game. Leagues are trying to balance the booming revenue from sports betting with the need to protect players from both public pressure and disciplinary action. As gambling becomes increasingly tied to the game, the challenge is clear. Can athletes compete without carrying the weight of somebody else's wager? With sports gambling comes great responsibility: how players perform, how fans react, and how we see player performances. From Varsity Sports Show, this was Rodolfo Gomez.
Hello folks, J.R. Lambright here, in a place where a game became a legend. In this part of our story, Deep East Texas high school football became the stuff of modern myth. This was the era of the true fan, the community member that went to every game, that knew every player's name, and could tell you the story of a game that happened a decade ago, as if it were yesterday. This was a time when bonfires and pep rallies became sacred rituals, where a team's journey to the state championship was more than just a trip for the players, but an entire town piling into buses, cars, and trucks for a pilgrimage. Heroes walked among us. Like Robert Hunt, he found his way from Burkeville, deep behind the Pine Curtain, to the NFL. Their stories weren't just about football. They were about the enduring spirit of the people in this place. They're in the memories of those who lived it, in the stories of triumph, of resilience, and of a shared pride that runs as deep as the roots in Daisy's Texas pines.
I'm Evan Cook, and I'm here reporting live for Varsity Sports. Today, we'll be talking about Jaden Daniels' second year entering the NFL. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. The NFL season is finally here. Week 1 kicks off Thursday night with a classic NFC East rivalry, the Cowboys and Eagles under the lights. Now, unfortunately...
Okay. I think we got it. We found it.
I found it.
Yeah, we found it. Tell her to stop.
Her favorite memory is storming the field with her team.
Oh wait, no, because this is stop. This is your computer.
He plans to attend the university.
Even though lost, he flashed his arm, his legs, and the confidence that would define his rookie year. Daniels had quite the impressive rookie season. He had a 69% completion rate, and he averaged 209 yards per game, ended up finishing with 25 touchdowns and having 9 interceptions. Daniels had quite the rookie season, going 12-5 with the Washington Commanders despite losing in the NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles, which ended with a score of 55-23. Now, I'm not just here to talk about his highlights. The real question is, how will he operate for year 2? Defenses already have film on him, expectations are sky high, and history tells us the sophomore slump is kind of real. Plenty of young quarterbacks have exploded in year 1, only to struggle with the league's adjustments going forward into the next year. Can Daniels build on top of that hype and keep Washington into a playoff picture, or will the pressure catch up to him? That's my topic right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Evan Cook, reporting live for Varsity Sports.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Marla Mundo, and today I'm with Ruth Brooks, a Sacramento State senior who also rows crew. Ruth, how did you get into rowing?
Well, I started rowing during COVID. Growing up, I used to play basketball and volleyball, but obviously that came to a stop. And so I actually saw a rowing post on TikTok. And so I decided to email our programs in the area, found the coach in the area, and then I've been doing it ever since.
That's great. So what has been your experience rowing collegiately? You row at Sacramento State, a D1 program. What has that been like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rowing has definitely been one of the most challenging but rewarding things I've ever done in my entire life. Definitely waking up in the morning knowing you're going to do something hard, but being surrounded by 40 other hardworking, strong women has just been great as I've grown into my own in college.
Yeah. So if a younger athlete was interested in rowing, what would you tell them?
I would say just try it out. Email a coach in your area. If money might be an issue, definitely talk about scholarships. That definitely helped me when I was rowing. But rowing has been something that can kind of open you up your horizons. So just try it out.
Do you have any favorite moments, maybe in high school or collegiately while you were rowing?
I loved every race I was with Marla. Great experience.
Thank you.
Actually, last year I had the opportunity to row at the Head of the Charles with rowing in color. And that was just a great experience, being around women who looked like me and having this common goal was just a great experience that I wouldn't have the opportunity to do so if I hadn't had joined rowing.
Thank you once again. That was Ruth Brooks. She rows at Sacramento State. And I'm Marla Mundo with the Varsity Sports Show. Out.
Yeah, I can't hear anything out of this one.
Hi, my name is Devin Blankenship. I'm an intern at the Varsity Sports Show, and in this video, I'm going to talk about Sam Levitt and why I believe he will be the 2025 Heisman Trophy winner for the Arizona State Sun Devils. In the Sun Devils season opener, Sam Levitt clearly looked like the best player on the field without a doubt. He lit up the stat sheet, while some guys that are his competition didn't do so well in their Week 1 matchup. Filling up the stat sheet in Week 1 was one of the most important things Levitt could have done, in my opinion, especially against an opponent like NAU, where he can just come out and dominate right from the jump. Some guys that are considered his toughest competition to win the Heisman include Arch Manning and Jeremiah Love, who neither of those two did particularly well in Week 1. Jeremiah Love, the running back for Notre Dame, a lot of people consider the best running back in the country, only had 33 yards on 10 carries in their game against Miami. Arch Manning, the quarterback for the Texas Longhorns, is another player that is considered to be potentially the favorite to win the Heisman. He's the projected #1 overall pick in this upcoming draft. In their game against Ohio State,
Hello, guys. Welcome back. My name is Reggie Wright, and right beside me in the announcer's booth is two members of Queen Creek's JROTC's program. I am joined here today by Major Michael Volkert and Cadet Jared Foley. First off, guys, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. This is my first Friday Night Light game I've probably seen in about 20 years. So I just joined the program here at JROTC a couple months ago. Really enjoying my time out here.
I mean, you guys are definitely enjoying the game. Queen Creek's up.
That's right.
Great
Go Bulldogs.
Of course. And some questions just to get started. First off, just for the people that don't know exactly what you guys do, what exactly is JROTC?
Yeah, great question. And we like to dispel rumors right up front. So we're not a military entrance program. We are what we call a leadership program based on a military model. So obviously we're on the Army side, so we teach leadership in that mold. But at the end of the day, we have fun. We're an elective, and really we allow opportunity for the students and cadets to grow as leaders. We do after-school activities, and again, I've got our cadet battalion commander, so he's a senior leader of the organization, and so he gets to lead really in front of his peers, which is awesome. Not many other programs at the school offer what we do.
And, of course, a question for you, of course, Jared. How long have you been in the program, and just, like, how did you get into it?
So this is my 4th year in the program. I got into it when I was about 7, between that area. When I was at one of my sister's high school events, I saw people doing a color guard. I saw the uniforms. I saw the formality of it. And I instantly knew, hey, I want to be a part of that. And so as soon as I entered high school, I signed up right away, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
That's lovely. And what are some of the programs, or what are some of the activities that you do in JROTC?
I'll let Jared answer that.
So every week we do a uniform inspection. Depends on the week. We do OCP, which we can see down. It's the camouflage pattern. Or do Class Bs, which is the one I'm wearing. It's the formal dress that has all the awards on it. We do physical training every Friday. Every Thursday and Wednesday we do developmental classes, depending on what year you are. It depends on what you're learning. And outside of JROTC during school, we do rifle team, which is just competitive shooting, not actual guns, of course. It's just pellet rifles. We do drill, which has 3 different factors. You have color guard, which we saw at the beginning of the game, the formal flags, exhibition, which is flipping rifles, putting on a good show, and you have regulation and unarmed armed, which is just marching with rifles or just as a team. There's also Raiders, which is, in my opinion, the best team we have. They always put on a tough show, no matter where they go. They've been out of state, and they always place hard.
So that's our football program. It's the competitive. We get out there, do obstacle course. We do what we call one rope bridge between like 2 trees and get our cadets going to rappel over it. So that's fun. We get to go out and compete against other schools and beat up on them.
These are very amazing things that you guys do. And, of course, why should people join JROTC?
What we say right off the bat is it's fun. At the end of the day, you're going to have a good time. It's an elective, so again, you come out, we'll show you a good time. We'll teach you everything. And above all else, you will walk away, if you do 1 year of our JROTC or 4 years, you're going to walk away better prepared for life after high school. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to prepare you for what life has to hold after high school. We're here to coach, teach, and mentor you all the way through that process.
And say if I were a Queen Creek student and I would want to get into JROTC, how would I go about doing that?
You tell your counselor, I want JROTC. Or you come and see myself or Summer First Class Biggs. He's my battle buddy, my assistant. You just come see one of us. We will get you in. We'll find a way to get it's an elective, so if you do 2 years of it, you get a PE credit. So you could do this in place of PE if you wanted to. So it's as simple as just talking to your counselor.
Of course. And how could we contact you guys?
So we're up on social media. We've got an Instagram page, QC dot JROTC, I believe it. Sorry, I'm still new to the program. QC.JROTC. Just look us up on Instagram. The school website. We do have a website as well. If you just look up Queen Creek High School, search JROTC, you can find us. Contact information. Send us an email, and we'd love to reach out and let you know all the great things we have to offer.
These are amazing things that I'm hearing right now. Major Volkert, Cadet Foley, it's been a pleasure of having you guys on air, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the game.
We will, absolutely. Hey, thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure to talk about JROTC. It's a great time. Go Bulldogs, having a great game. Let's go take this home.
Of course. Thank you guys for being on the air once again, and we will see you in the second half.
Awesome. Have a great night.
That's your computer.
Hold on, we're still figuring it out.
Hello, everyone, for Varsity Sports Show. My name is Andrew Neerum. I'm here joined alongside with Reggie White, and we've had a great game here in Queen Creek at Queen Creek High School, going up against Boulder Creek High School, the Jaguars and the Bulldogs, to make it a little simpler. And, you know, like AJ Lee returns to SmackDown, we're returning back to the third quarter here, where the score is Bulldogs 21, and the Jaguars 14. Squib kick up the middle.
Ooh. Handled that pretty well, I gotta say. You know.
No bobbles, no nothing like that.
Those are very tricky, you know.
Definitely Tustin DeWitt with the return. Gets it up to about let's see where the refs place this. About the 34-yard line here. 35. So Queen Creek has been really explosive, offensively, defensively. Obviously, the defensive touchdown, the 99-yard touchdown. You just got to make sure they stay on the gas and don't let up, because this Boulder Creek team has been equally as explosive.
Of course, it's all about consistency in this game. So, like, whoever, it's like both these teams are in cars, right? And both of them have their feet on the gas, and they're just trying to go. Trying to make sure one of them chickens out and stuff like that. And eventually one of these teams is going to hit the brake before they crash.
Definitely. Carey gets blown in the backfield. David Rawson loses 3 on the play, 2nd and 13. Here's the snap. The throw quick to Jaron Lyles. Had the 99-yard touchdown today. Gets back up to about the 39. It's Paulo Longo on the tackle. The Longo brothers once again getting active and getting after it. Now it's 3rd and 7. After the run got blown up in the backfield, and Lyles got it back up to about to make it a 3rd and 7 here. We're going to see what can Hales and company do. Here's the snap. He's looking right, flees the pocket, finds a hole. He keeps going up, falls short of the line to gain, stops at about the 42, 43-yard line.
One thing to know. I do love a good scramble. And he definitely took initiative upon himself to, you know, get himself out that pocket. He saw that there was probably no options downfield, so he said, you know what? I see a little bit of a gap. I'm going to go through it like a cave diver goes into a cave.
Definitely. It looked like, at least from our view, it looked like there was no way he'd get out, and then all of a sudden he popped right out. And that's really impressive stuff that you want to see from your quarterback, the ability to be mobile and get those yards in any way that you really need to.
Of course.
4th and 2, they're going for it. A run up the middle. It gets past the line to gain, and even more, gets into enemy territory. Does David Rawson. Great run there. Only needed 2. Gets about 7 on the play.
Very impressive run right there from Rawson.
Definitely.
Obviously, you need those yards where you can get it, and he's been able to prove exactly just that tonight.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 in the enemy 48 for the Bulldogs. 9 minutes left in this quarter. There's the dump out. He breaks the tackle. He breaks 2. He keeps going, and finally gets brought down at the 20. Does David Rawson. Got a little flip out all the way to David Rawson on the outside. Broke a tackle near the line of scrimmage. Found another tackle that he broke. Broke all the way out to the 21-yard line.
I mean, picked up a little bit of a knock, but obviously, as I mentioned before, the Bulldogs need the yards where they can get it, and very impressive example right there from Rawson. And he's been able to, get the Bulldogs into a scoring position and possibly further their advantage tonight.
Run of 27 officially. He's going to be handed off to Jaden Gearing, their backup running back, not Rawson. Maybe giving Rawson a bit of a break after that 27-yard breakout. Now this is the explosiveness that you've wanted to see out of the half. A lot of times teams essentially get iced during halftime, and they can't really get the momentum that they had. But it's really good to see that, we're essentially already in red zone for Queen Creek and the Bulldogs. The snap here. Flings it out to Lyles. Lyles has a blocker, sheds a tackle. Eventually stays standing all the way through the whistle. Shows the power of his legs there to stay standing between, 3 people trying to tackle him?
Of course. I mean, that's what you need from any type of player on your offense, just a little bit of resilience, that never say die attitude, and just that refusal to go down.
Going to be a gain of 7 on the play. I definitely think my favorite kind of plays in football are the ones where, it should have been blown up in the line of scrimmage. It should have only gotten 1. And then, even if you only get 7, it's still 6 more than you thought. And it's great for the offense because it gets them rolling.
I mean, yeah, it's like one of those very surprising plays.
He flips out. He has a wide open man. That's his tight end, Bear Fisher. No one was around him. The defense got confused. Something happened. Fireworks are going. And the Bulldogs strike quick and strike early.
I mean, how fast was that? I'd got to say. Just getting from end to end, and just the execution of all of these plays, whether it be a passing play, a running play. I mean, they just worked it to perfection, and obviously the quarterback has to give himself a huge pat on the back for that.
The David Rawson 27-yard carry essentially set up that easy pass over to Bear Fisher, the senior tight end, one of our seniors here again. Honored tonight here at senior night in Queen Creek. 14-27 is the score, barring the extra point. The snap, a low snap, does get through the uprights though. Oh, never mind. From our angle, it looked like it went through. It did not.
It was a bit of a mishandled snap. Obviously, the place kicker couldn't really get the ball down in time for his kicker. So
looked like the long snap was a little lacking on the long part.
It was very lackluster.
Yeah, just a short snap there, so the placeholder had to kind of fumble around with it and try and get into a position.
Before the kicker got to the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 27-14 as the Bulldogs have to now kick away after the failed extra point there by Israel Carmona. 6:56 left in this third quarter. At what's been an exciting game so far, now almost a 2-touchdown lead here for the Bulldogs. And you got to wonder, you know, the Cougars won the toss. And, excuse me, the Jaguars, not the Cougars. Don't know why I said that. The Jaguars won the toss at the start of the game and elected to receive. And because of that, the Bulldogs got the ball to start the third quarter. And now they're up 2 touchdowns. What do you make of that? Do you think they should have elected to defer, or do you like the option to receive?
I mean, obviously, you want to be able to, like, given the position that Boulder Creek was in, being a touchdown behind, I don't think it was very wise of them to, you know, give their opponents the ball, because obviously they're chasing a game. You don't want to possibly jeopardize that, and clearly they've pretty much paid the price.
They're going to be fighting behind now, or fighting from behind, Boulder Creek will be. We're going to see if the quarterback, Joey Longo, under center now. Up the middle, hands it off to his running back. And that's what we saw last week against Perry, is they did this back and forth action with Stano and Longo. They kind of traded places back and forth. Now we're seeing Longo under center. I had to make sure I was reading that number correctly, but it was number 18, Joey Longo, the wide receiver that has caught both of Boulder Creek's touchdowns today, now playing under center.
Well, of course, and obviously brings back the topic that we were talking about earlier into the first half, the versatility. You know, we saw what he could do as a wide receiver. Now let's see what he can do as a quarterback.
There we go. Up the middle run. Looks to gain maybe 1. It does only gain 1. 3rd and 8 is the score. Not the score. 3rd and 8 is the down and distance. With 5:55 left in the third quarter, and the Bulldogs leading by 13. So 3rd and 8 here, backed up at their own 22. I feel like if you're Queen Creek, if you can stop this offense and get the ball back and score, it might be looking like it's out of reach here. But, I mean, there is still a lot of game left to play, so we'll just have to see. Another flip out. Gets blown up pretty quickly. Quentin Shannon gets blown up in the backfield. And that's going to be a 4th down now. So now you're Queen Creek, right? You just scored. You missed that extra point, but you essentially forced that team to go 3 and out. And now you're going to get the ball back. How huge is this to just get any points on the board?
I mean, it's huge. It's this next, I would say this next drive would be very vital for them, because obviously they have an opportunity to put this game far out of Boulder Creek's reach.
Definitely.
And obviously they missed that extra point in their last drive. However, they still have like all the time in the world to just make amends for that.
Definitely. A short punt here stays within its own 50. We'll see where the placement is. The refs are going to place it at. Tossing footballs back and forth, trying to figure out where they're putting it. They're going to settle at the opponent's 43-yard line, which is interesting, right? You know, you're backed up into your own side of the field, and the punt that you send doesn't even get out of your own side of the field. Yeah. So now it's only 43 yards for Queen Creek to get any points. I mean, to get a touchdown is only 43 yards. And so like you said, you know, this is a vital drive, and I think a punt like that, I think it sets up for Queen Creek to get a really easy score here.
Of course.
The handoff, the pitch back to Lyles. Tries to get out of the backfield, doesn't end up getting there, gets blown up for about a loss of 2. Looked like that went from Hales to Gearing over to Lyles was the connection there on that. Loss of 3 on the play officially. 2nd and 13.
I mean, obviously, it's first down. You can get those type of plays out of the way and stuff like that. If it goes well, then good for them. If it doesn't, we go again next try.
Right, definitely. You also got to factor in time in this. It started. Now it's down to 3:50. If you're Queen Creek and you can get that to about a minute left in the third quarter, you're really going to start applying the pressure to Boulder Creek. He's going to look back to throw his Hales. Manages to stay on, or the ref's going to call it in. They are not. Was intended for Lyles. Looked like he might have held on, but I guess he probably bobbled it on his way down after the big hit there, which was a pretty sizable hit there.
It was a very, very hard hit. Let's say that.
We called it at the beginning. We said it's going to be physical, and that definitely has been the truth. We've seen a fair share of taunting calls or unsportsmanlike conduct. We've seen a fair share of big hits. I mean, it's Friday Night Lights, right? You're especially in high school on senior night. Emotions are going to be running high. You're going to be trying to make the play that wins your team the football game. Here's the snap for Hales. Looking, he finds his receiver short. Bear Fisher, who had the touchdown most recently, gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage, if that. It's going to be recorded as a loss of 1, 4th and 13.
I mean, as I said, this was definitely Queen Creek's turn to capitalize on that faulty kick.
Mm-hmm.
However, they weren't able to make anything come to fruition, so it's back to the drawing board for them.
Yeah, 2 3-and-outs, one by Queen Creek and one by Boulder Creek. Here's the punt. Israel Carmona, the punt. Bit of a push there. And they're going to let this roll. Is it going to get within the 5? It is. It's still rolling. Goes to about the 3-yard line. A beautiful punt by the sophomore kicker, Israel Carmona. So, you go 3-and-out, but now you pin them back at the 3-yard line. That's got to feel great because your defense last time made them go 3-and-out. And now they're pushed back even further. Looking at maybe a safety potential?
Possibly. I mean, the last game I was covering, Liberty versus Mountain View, that's how they opened the game. It was a safety. They went out in the backfield.
Well, let's see what happens here for the Jaguars. Trying to see if that's Longo under center. Looks like it is. It is Longo. He hands it off up the middle. Gets blown into the back. Are the refs going to call it?
Safety.
They're gonna mark forward progress at the 2. They're marking forward progress at the 2. Still a loss of 1 on the play. But the refs called forward progress on the ball carrier. But still, 2nd and 12. You're now pushed back to the 2-yard line. You got to remember, you go for a pass here. This is a quarterback. I mean, at least, I don't know how Longo likes to operate in the pocket, but I know that Stano was a very mobile quarterback, and you always worry with mobile quarterbacks that, like you said, they run out of the back of the end zone. We've seen it happen time and time again. So we'll see what Longo can do here. Here's a flag. Delay of game on the offense puts them at the 1-yard line.
Now they're really up against it. I mean, obviously they're going to have to do a passing play now.
Or they're just going to have to do something to maybe give the punter room, because that's the other thing, right? If you don't give the punter enough room in his own end zone, it's a blocked punt, and it's an easy reception either in the end zone or very close to the end zone for the defense.
Actually, that's how that last play happened.
Really?
For Liberty, yeah. Punter didn't have enough space in the back, and one of the Liberty players was able to get to it, and it ended up going out of play.
Definitely. Going to go around the outside. Big hit. A bit of taunting from Queen Creek. Asher Howard. Bit of taunting. Got the good stop. Kept him at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 13 now. But we've seen these taunting calls. I can't lie. I thought it was going to be another taunting call.
Me too. Me too. Queen Creek really has to be careful with these because obviously it's cost them a lot of yards, especially earlier into the game when Boulder Creek took the lead.
So it's going to be 3rd and 13, 1:17 left in the third quarter. The Jaguars trying to avoid a safety. They do end up avoiding the safety. They don't get tackled in the end zone, but now you've allowed 7 yards. Actually, no, sorry, excuse me. You've allowed 12 yards because the end zone's 10 plus the 2-yard line. You've allowed 12 yards for your punter to try and get a punt off. And we've seen the punter has had a spotty history throughout this game. Not the greatest punts. Under pressure, I'm looking for a block punt here.
And we got to see how much space that he gets into that end zone, obviously, because he needs a few steps to get that kickoff, and obviously the distance between him and the defensive line right there. So anything can happen.
Timeout for Boulder Creek with 23.6 seconds left in this third quarter. We've seen the defensive line of Queen Creek able to get their hands up on a couple plays and able to get them some deflections, which is really why I keep talking about this blocked punt that could happen, just because I know and I've seen what these defensive linemen are capable of, and I know that they're capable of getting their hands up and stopping the ball.
Now, I want to ask you, Andrew, I mean, if you were on that defensive line and you wanted to get close to that kicker, how would you do it? Would you approach him directly from the side, blindside him?
So, Reggie, I like that you asked this question. I played a lot of Madden, so I'll let you know. I've learned there's 2 good strategies. One, you go around the outside, but it looks like they're probably going to do a pretty protected punt, so you're going to have to probably get through more than the offensive line. But also, if you split one defender with 2 guys, right? One of you guys is most likely gonna get through it to some extent. So I say either, take 2-on-1 essentially right in the middle, or try and go around the outside. We'll see what Queen Creek does here. Here's the punt. Do they get someone over? It was close, but they do not block it.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Got enough on it, and they get stopped at about the 31-yard line in enemy territory.
Still pretty good field position for Queen Creek to score, possibly triple their lead.
So still, got a piece of it. Didn't get the full thing, but you still really set yourself up well for only 30 yards to gain for another touchdown, and you're most likely going to get that touchdown in the fourth. We only have 15 seconds left for the third quarter. So, getting that touchdown in the fourth, extending your lead by 3 touchdowns, going into 12 minutes of play left, it's going to be tough for Boulder Creek to walk out of here and keep their heads held high and try and get something to happen. Anyways, here is Hales. The snap. Sends it over to his running back, Gearing. The junior. Doesn't get a whole lot. They're going to let this clock run all the way down to 0. Gain of 2. So we have reached the end of the third quarter. The score is the Queen Creek Bulldogs at 27 and the Boulder Creek Jaguars, at 14. At the end of the third quarter here in Queen Creek High School, we are going to step aside for a bit, and we will be back with more fourth quarter action and the end of the game here shortly.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. Hey guys, Vince here from the Varsity Sports Show. Nothing beats a hometown touchdown, on the field and on the table. Join us at Zips or Goldies, where families, friends, and teams come together for great food. They make everything fresh, like their hearty burgers or irresistible focaccias. The restaurants are family friendly with a huge menu and plenty of seating. Goldie's Sports Cafe is in Scottsdale at Via Linda and Mountain View Road, and Zips Sports Grill has 14 Valley locations. Come hungry, see you soon at Zips or Goldies.
We are back here at Queen Creek, switching sides at the end of the fourth. Excuse me, at the end of the third, start of the fourth. Sawyer Hales looking around, pocket breaking down. He's still going to get free and get a couple yards out of it. He's been really mobile today in that pocket, being able to get outside of those hash lines. And I think that that's what's led to Queen Creek's success.
Of course. And we also saw a little bit of like miscommunication there from Boulder Creek's defense. And obviously, obviously, Hales there, or Hales, is able to, get himself a little bit of space, find his way outside of that, like, little pickle that he was in, but got him a little bit of, got him an opportunity to possibly get this first down here.
Definitely. 3rd and 6 here. He's looking to pass. Pocket collapses. He airs it deep. Does he have him? He does. Number 18, Caden Kellogg, gets the touchdown reception. And the score is now 33-14. Fireworks here. Student section wild. Cowbells ringing. The Queen Creek faithful are excited about their football team.
I mean, we were talking about it, just like Queen Creek having the opportunity to possibly, further their advantage, and they've done exactly just that. I mean, a little bit of fortune was on their side as well, with like a little bit of the scuffed kicks, as well as like good defense on the opposing team's goal line, and they're able to, return the favor.
So here's an extra point. It is up and through. It's hard to tell from these angles. I thought that one was out, and then it was in.
Yeah.
And I thought the last one was in and it was out.
Yeah.
I need the NFL cams where it's just the field goal straight on. That way I can see. So the score is now a 20-point lead for the Bulldogs, 34-14, with 11:08 left in the fourth quarter. So this is now a 3-score game here. If you are the Jaguars, you got to start hustling, and you have to hustle now. You only have 11 minutes, right? So, make sure that you can get down the field as quick as you can, at least on this first drive, and then maybe test your luck with some onside kicks.
Of course. I mean, they pretty much have it all to do in this fourth quarter. So we'll try to see what comes to light for them.
We'll see if Longo or Stano is going to be under center. If I'm Queen Creek, I mean, I don't know how to play that defensively, right? I don't know how you counteract for both quarterbacks. Bit of an onside kick. Fumbled out of bounds. He could have had the recovery. He dove on it. It was a fake out. They thought they were going to go for the long kick. Ended up going onside kick. And I didn't see the number there, but they almost had the reception.
I mean, obviously those balls can be a little bit tricky when you try to go for those onside plays because of the bobbles and everything. We saw how Boulder Creek opened the second half, obviously, with that bobbled kick down the middle. But, it does take a little bit of skill to try to, get the ball down and try to get on top of it before it, like, possibly goes into the wrong hands or goes out of play.
Definitely. It got the 10 yards it needs for the onside kick, just wasn't able to be corralled. So it will be Boulder Creek's ball here at the 44-yard line. So it looks like we're going to have Joey Longo under center. Now, I personally thought Stano to Longo as wide receiver was a much better connection and offered them a lot of points here, but we're going to see a run to the left by Cole Eichelberry. I believe that's the first time we've called his name all game. Well, it wasn't even Cole Eichelberry. That's my bad. It was number 20, which is Sal Montez, the backup running back.
That is the first time you've called his name. Oh.
Yeah, it's been a quiet night here. They've really been running their offense through Longo and Stano.
Yep.
And I think that's what ultimately has led them to only be scoring 14. I think you gotta make sure you get your other people involved. I know we saw him trying to get Tate Larson involved. Just a couple drop passes. Another run up the middle.
We did see a little bit from Frankie Stubbs as well.
Looked like that was Sal Montez. Broke about 3 tackles to get enough for a first down for the Jaguars.
I mean, he did show a little bit of fight, you know, trying to get up and everything, get up the field, and was able to work it down for a first down.
So it's going to be first down at the 42. 10 minutes left here, just crossed the 10-minute mark. Longo's still going to stay under center. Has been working as the quarterback since the end of the first the end of the first half. Longo's going to keep it himself off of the misdirection. Still going to gain about 5 to 6 on the play. And a gain of 8 puts him at the 34-yard line. What have been your overall thoughts, Reggie, about just not Boston. I'm tripping up my words. Boulder Creek and their offense as a whole that you've seen progress throughout the night?
I mean, first half we obviously saw like how well the Everett Stano and Joey Longo connection was, and then I think after the second half with Longo as quarterback, he's been trying to make some plays of his own, but obviously they haven't been going to plan as we expected. But you know, it's still something we work with, and I'm certain they will figure it out.
Definitely. They had that close loss against Perry last week, and that was a game that they still scored 30 points and still connected on a lot of great passes and had a lot of their offense running really smoothly. Has just been a little bit more choppy here against Queen Creek. The reception was just by Tate Larson that last play. We're going to see what Longo can do here. Hands it off to Sal Montez, who's able to push forward for a decent gain.
Sal Montez has been very crucial for these past couple of plays. He's been able to, you know, evade some tackles, you know, break through a couple of couple of walls, and he's been able to get the Jaguars some yards where they needed.
Shed quite a few tackles. 2nd and 2. Gets brought down, Joey Longo, by 2 of Queen Creek players. I think that was number 29 and number 40. Jamal Jones. And Ty Hill, the PA announcer, beat me to that one. I was trying to look at my sheet, but didn't get there in time. This is going to set up 3rd and 2 at the 21 for the Jaguars with 7:20 left in the game. Here's the handoff again up the middle to number 7, Jackson Profit. I believe that's the first time we've called his name. So that's the thing. When you move one of your star wide receivers to the quarterback position, every other part of that offense is going to get shifted. Running backs are going to have to become, you know, wide receivers, this, that, and the other. And so that's why we're starting to see these new names here pop up, like Montez, like Profit. And it's working. It was enough to gain the first down here at the 18-yard line.
Jaguars definitely still have a lot of time to cut this lead.
Just barely stepped out of bounds. Almost broke the tackle was Tate Larson off of the completion, but I believe it was his right foot barely steps out of bounds.
In the process of that spin cycle.
was a great spin cycle to shed the tackle in the first place. Just was a little too close to the sideline. So that'll bring up 2nd and 7. So here we go. 6:37 left in the game. 2nd and 7 at the 15 for the Boulder Creek Jaguars. Up the right side of the offensive line. Profit taking the ball again. Boulder Creek has a difficult schedule here coming up. They're traveling again to Mountain View, then going up against Castile and Cesar Chavez in their own stadium. And their road record last year was 1-5. Not wanting to call anything too early here, as another run up the middle gets stopped pretty quickly. Don't want to call anything too quickly here, but up by 20, 5 minutes left. Looks like, they're going to start on the road 0-1 for the season.
Of course, and obviously not the start that they would have wanted, but, given their record and everything, all they can say is that, we came out here, we competed well, and although the result might not be in our favor, we have a lot to,
to look forward to.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they've definitely had. Especially the first half. I mean, it's definitely slowed down here in the third half, but in the first half, they were trading touchdowns. They were trading running the field back and forth. They were trading defensive takeaways. So it's been really all around for Boulder Creek, as another run up the middle from Sal Montez gets blown up again, and the run game just not really working. With 5:05 left in the game. For Queen Creek, they're going to stay home here for the next 2 games. They're going to face Cesar Chavez next Friday, and then Centennial the following Friday, before going on the road at Basha the Friday after that.
Those are going to be some pretty good games, especially the Centennial one.
Centennial is going to be a really exciting game.
I mean, obviously Queen Creek losing to Centennial in that semifinal last year, they're going to be looking for some revenge.
We'll see if they can get that. That was a push up the middle that almost crossed the goal line. Refs are going to call it short by 2. So it's going to be 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. Yeah, that Centennial game, I'm going to hope I get put on that, because that's going to be a fun game. Looks like we're going to have a false start on the offense of Boulder Creek. Is on number 43 of Boulder Creek's offense. Tanner McManus can't get there. You can't move that quickly. I know it's the end of the game. We're kind of nerves are kind of chilled out a bit, but you just can't be jittery. Here's a snap to Longo. Pushes up the middle to Sal Montez for a late touchdown for Boulder Creek. And now it's a 14-point game with 3:47 left in the game. Are you smelling a comeback, Reggie?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly not. But, anything could happen in the next 4 minutes. I mean, Sal Montez, obviously crucial for this most recent drive and everything. He's been the one that's been working his butt off to get all those yards, get the Jaguars where they need to be.
As the kick is good.
Get them where they need to be, and now they have a 2-possession game where if they play their cards right, they could see this being sent straight to overtime.
It should be exciting. Now only a 13-point deficit after the extra point is good. So 3:47 left on the clock. You got to imagine Boulder Creek's going to try and kick an onside kick here. We saw Queen Creek try to do that to steal the ball from them. And, I talked about it. You're going to need 3 possessions to get this game back to where you want it. And that possession took a lot of time off the clock. They were methodical, but they did get down into the end zone. So now if you're Boulder Creek, let's say you do get this ball back off of the onside kick, you got to move quick.
Of course.
So it should be interesting to see here. I think, Boulder Creek has 2 of their timeouts remaining. Queen Creek has 3. So they really have time to drain. Caden Kellogg, the man set back, one of the men, I guess I should say, set back to receive this punt. Alongside him is Tustin Dewitt, both of them back. Here's the kick. They're set back deep, but might be showing a bit of a onside kick here. They do. Sends it right over to Queen Creek. And that was, it was an onside kick, it just wasn't the onside kick we needed.
I mean, I get what he was trying to do, but I don't feel like he executed it as well as I thought, because he wanted to like kick it a little bit more to the side, but it started to, the placement of his foot to the ball just caused the ball to bobble and then go slightly up the center, and that's obviously not what he wanted it to do.
And that's the thing with that unique shape that the football is it's so unpredictable. You can try your best, and especially as a kicker, that's like you make sure that you can try and control the ball as best as you can, but you know, you're a millimeter off to the left or a millimeter off to the right, and that ball is going wherever. So Queen Creek's going to take over at the 49. Here's the handoff to David Rossad. Oh, no, that is not. That is to Jaden Gearing. He's going to break a couple tackles and break the first down marker. An impressive showing from Gearing. You know, Rotson's the starting running back, but Gearing's definitely had his fair share of touches today. The junior has been just doing really good all around.
He's definitely one to look out for, because he's still a junior, still has 1 more year to go as compared to Bear Fisher.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not Bear Fisher, but Rawson. But he still has 1 more year to go, and he's still trying to prove to his coach that he's definitely in the running for that starting spot next year.
Definitely. There's another run up the middle by Gearing. Looks like they might be resting Rawson for the rest of the night, kind of taking the rest of the night off after a 13-point lead with 2:41 left in the game. They kind of assume, you know, we can take out Rawson. Rawson, though, an interesting fact, Rawson was the third leading rusher last year, had 440 yards and 2 touchdowns, and was really thrust into the spotlight after their main running back, Lucas George, graduated last year. George had 862 yards and 6 touchdowns as the running back, and Rawson's kind of took that spot. There's another run up the middle. Gets grabbed by his ankle, does Gearing.
I mean, obviously, Rawson, another example of stepping up to the occasion when you're needed. Just like Hales, thrown into like the deep end after, you know, one of the more reliable players obviously is unavailable, but he's managed to like hold his own, do what he needs to do on that field, and he's repaid Queen Creek's coach
Definitely
trust like tenfold.
And is really setting them up to do what we've been talking about this whole broadcast, as Gearing's going to take it again up the middle, just trying to drain clock here. Gets it down to 128. Man, I guess there is no 2-minute warning in all of high school football, because I don't think we had a stop for the 2-minute warning. So that's just me not understanding the rules, but a great showing here from Gearing. Great showing here from Queen Creek all around. As some fans start to exit, they know they're happy. They're exiting happy, knowing that their team, their home team, on senior night especially, is walking out of here with the win.
Clock starting to run down.
I want to hear your thoughts here, Reggie. What do you think? Give me like 2 things that you think Queen Creek did really well to essentially seal this game as they're kneeling it out.
It's just their effectiveness. As soon as that ball is snapped, everybody's in their right positions. I mean, Jaron Lyles getting open whenever he needs to be. David Rawson getting the yards whenever the Bulldogs need a first down. And then obviously the quarterback, Sawyer Hales, just passing wherever he needs to pass, or just sending the ball off and be like, here, go ahead, do your thing. I'll see you in a couple of yards.
Right.
And obviously it's the second thing also Queen Creek's resilience. Obviously going down in for the first score. They weren't able. They didn't put their heads down. They didn't pout about it. They were just like, okay, this is what we need to do. And of course, as we saw tonight, they were able to pull off the comeback win.
Definitely. So that is going to wrap it up as the fireworks are launching in celebration, setting off some car alarms in the process. The Queen Creek Bulldogs, their first home game of the season, their senior night of football season, take down the Boulder Creek Jaguars 34-21 in a dominant fashion. That late touchdown at the end changed it from 34-14 to 34-21. Still a great all-around showing here from Queen Creek as they are hitting the handshakes at the end of the game. You can disagree with me, Reggie, but I have to say, Queen Creek's player of the game had to have been either Jaron Lyles or Sawyer Hales, because both of them were electric.
I definitely have to say Sawyer Hales for me. I mean, absolute standout.
All right. Well, it sounds like we are wrapping it up here for Varsity Sports Show. Thank you, everyone, for watching. For Reggie White, excuse me, I'm Andrew Neerum. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will be back next week for another great edition of Friday Night Football.
Have a good night, guys.
Take care.